Over next time.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Gadfly. I'm your host, David Rich. We have a very special guest on tonight, Christin Marie, psychic, medium, paranormal investigator, and all-around great gal. Hey, Kristen was actually the very first guest I had on the show back on the beginning of October. Ottobre, as they say in Italian. So here we are, full circle. As I started this show, wanted to talk about like cool paranormal, alternative spirituality kind of stuff, and you were my very first guest.
Yeah, I remember that was awesome. I enjoyed it.
Cool. So your hair is clearly longer than it was.
Yes, I pay a lot of money for this hair.
That's what happens in time. Hair grows. So how you been? What's going on?
Same stuff. Just doing the work and meeting so many new people, so many fascinating people, so many other light workers and things like that. I mean, as time goes on, just more and more things start happening and more connections are made. It's quite fascinating because I'm still working towards my end goal because this isn't it. So it's quite interesting to see how quickly things advance.
What's your end goal?
My end goal? Yeah. Oh, to be known, and I've said this a million times on my live feeds, to be known as the girl who can find missing people and help unsolved cases.
Oh, wow. Very cool. Yeah. Well, if anybody is definitely a candidate for that, it's you. Yeah. I've seen your live feeds and I've seen your stuff, and it's very impressive. No, seriously, that Abigail Smith thing or Brown, whatever it was.
Abigail Brown.
Yeah, still, I witnessed the whole thing. I was like, whoa.
I witnessed it, and I was like, whoa. It's shocking to me. I'm always surprised by it.
About these things, these gifts and stuff like that, I don't have the same gifts you do, but I have all, different ones. And like, it's, even though you've had them for so long, you still are like fascinated by them, which I think is one of the cool things about this.
Yes.
You're like, wow, that was amazing,
Yes, very much so. I mean, the thing is, for so long, I always kind of went back and forth between being a psychic and being a medium and things like that. And, it's such, and I've said this to people before, it's such a huge responsibility to connect people to the other side and do things in such a way that truly validates our loved ones exist after this life. So to me, it's important to give dope information that's very, very valid and very validating to the people who are in the sessions looking to connect with their loved ones. So for me, when I get things, I'm just a regular girl. When I get things in sessions, that are insane to me, my clients know it. I'm like, are you kidding me? I still get surprised because to me, I used to be a skeptic, before I started doing this work and really believing in the medium and the psychic stuff, and there's just no way for me to know the things that I know and that I share in sessions. So it blows my mind. My mind is blown just like everybody else's. I will say that it never, ever, ever gets old, ever.
Which is good. I mean, that's but it allows you to stay passionate about it,
Yes, I'll do this job till the day I cross over. The day.
So some people have already caught on the side here. You have a comments section on the right. So anybody viewing can post questions, comments, anything they want. We got Christine. Hello, Christine. We got Crystal. Hi, Crystal.
Ooh, I can't see anybody.
You can't see it?
No.
Okay.
Hi, guys.
You should be able to see it. Okay, and we got Marlene. These are all names I recognize from your live feed.
Oh, hi, guys.
So Marlene is saying you are a blessing. Christine is saying you are absolutely amazing. Samantha says hello. Another absolutely amazing. Christine is saying things I've never told anyone ever. Kristen has brought them up. Ooh.
Yay!
I love that. Was Christine the Abigail Brown? Christine?
No, that wasn't her. I don't believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So may I tell people what it was real quick? At least
sure.
Basically, Kristen also does automatic writing, which is that spirits communicate through her via, like, she'll just kind of get an impulse, if you will. You can describe it differently if you like. And she'll grab a pen and a paper and she'll start jotting things down, in a sense, unconsciously. And then she'll go ahead and look at it after she, comes back out of the, if you will, trance. And read it and so on and so on, and interpret it. Well, couple weeks ago, a week ago, something like that. She had one of these things in the middle of a live stream or live feed, which she does probably 4 to 5 days a week, which is very cool, by the way. I always enjoy listening to you.
Thank you.
And she had an automatic writing moment during the live stream, wrote something down, and then later on, a little bit later, somebody on the comment section said something about her great aunt, Abigail Brown, and then you held up the thing and it said Abigail Brown on it. Yeah, which was wild. I might not be getting that completely in the right sequence, but it was definitely something that looked like that.
Yeah, it was weird.
And again, like I've seen some pretty weird stuff in my day, and I was like, wow, it's like that's cool.
That's how I feel all the time.
Yeah, no, which is great. I love living a life like that. I love being in awe and wonder in my life. That's it's a wonderful thing. I think a healthy spirituality should include that.
Yeah.
So Crystal is saying that Kristen has helped me with some life-changing decisions. And Christine Totten, sorry, I shouldn't say last name. Well, it's already says, remember that, meaning that the thing about Abigail Brown. Yeah, very cool. So, well, all right. So where are you at then? Like, if your goal is to kind of like just expand your field of awareness and feel influence over others because you're so helpful for the ones that you do have right now.
Right.
Where are you at right now then that you're still trucking forward?
Well, right now I'm doing pranic healing, as well as, I mean, my thing will always be being a medium and being a psychic because it's important to me to connect people with life after life, right? Our spirit, our loved ones, our angels, our guides, all those things live right beside us, right? And we live in so much grief when we're missing that person. My goal is to help people be able to connect with spirit on their own, right? Just like I do, maybe slightly different. But so doing that, helping heal, that's the whole point of it, is help people heal and get through their pain and their grief, but also help people heal in the sense of self-love, right? And helping them to see their path, putting them on that path and helping them advance forward so they can live a very productive, happy life. So, but also with that being said, the pranic healing, I'm very into because this helps with not only emotional, but physical pain. So that is something I'm also very passionate about, is helping heal people through energy.
What's chronic healing? I know is the same thing as chronic pain, but the opposite.
Pranic, so energy healing. Like pranic vampires.
Pranic.
Pranic. Yes, pranic.
Okay. Oh, okay. I got you.
Yes, with a P.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so drawing out any stuck energy or pain and things like that, and then I can also infuse with energy. That has become something just, I always say I'm never done learning and doing different things. I finally just let go of the boundaries and I'm just open to anything.
That's very cool. So is that Reiki that you're doing, or is that?
No, it's a little bit different. I can work on chakras like Reiki, but it's a little bit different with moving energy. I have to absorb it and then release it. Kind of like, here's how I would liken it to. If you've seen The Green Mile, the guy, the big guy who's in the jail cell who, would touch somebody, absorb, and then like release
some magical powers. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that. That's what I liken it to.
Interesting. Okay, that's very cool.
It is cool.
All right. Christine is saying, Kristen has brought me closure on some traumatic things and is helping me heal, and it is life-changing. I am able to release in a positive way now. Oh, very cool.
I love it. I love her.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, girl.
Kristen has felt my pain. And Teresa Summers Mayberry has just said coffee.
I need it.
What does that mean?
It might be something. I don't know.
Okay.
I never remember things I say. So is this something?
That's literally all she says is the word coffee. Okay. Coffee is fabulous. I love coffee.
I don't like coffee. I had coffee this morning though.
Yeah, you drink other things.
I'm drinking green tea right now so I can be all caffeinated for bed. Lots of dream work to do, okay?
Hey, what did your cup say? Moonchild?
Stay wild, Moonchild.
Well, that's very cool. Where'd you get that?
Probably TJ Maxx.
Okay. Oh, so Teresa is saying that the word coffee comes. Oh, is that the guy's name? Coffee? And from Green Mile?
What? Is it? Oh, maybe.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's been a while since I wouldn't remember that. So, okay. Well,
I have not seen that in forever. But I remember when I started doing the healing, I remembered back to that. And I'm like, I That's it. That's how I'm going to describe it to people, because I feel like everyone's seen that movie.
Yeah, no, it was a good movie. Stephen King's unbelievable.
Oh, it's a Stephen King movie?
Oh, it's what anything has to do with the supernatural horror, like 9 out of 10 times it's Stephen King. He has written 8 bajillion books. I mean, it's unbelievable. Yeah.
Really?
And it goes like all the way back to like the early 70s. Like nobody even knows he's like everybody thinks he's an 80s phenom. And no, he's written everything. He's incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I don't know this. I know
It's Christine, Green Mile,
Green Mile.
The Stand,
No.
Cat People. I could go
Cat
on.
People.
That was an obscure one. That one didn't make it to the mainstream very well.
Cat People. I'm gonna look for this.
There's some unfortunate parts to it, so I'll just say that right now.
With cats?
No.
Okay.
With the cat people who are both cat and person. Anyway, well, we'll have another show. We'll just talk about like horror movies. There we go.
Yeah.
Because creepy's our jam.
Yes.
Exactly. So okay, well that's really cool. And so like, when did you like first discover? Real quick, Christine saying, "I keep my papers by me all the time. It takes time to process everything from a session, but once you process everything, it's the most amazing feeling. And the more sessions you have, the more so much comes together." That's very good. That's encouraging. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
And that's what I tell people too, is like when I do the automatic writing, I've been doing this long enough to know the feedback from people. So 15 years professionally, for 15 years, people have been getting automatic writing papers. And I don't remember how I started it or anything because I don't have memories, but it's fascinating because when I start a session, I say, just so you know, if it doesn't make sense now, it will, because it always does, you know? And so people, I tell them, I'm like, hold on to them forever. It's going to make sense. You're going to need to look back on this. So that's what's interesting. And I appreciate when people value their papers, because those are literally your messages from your loved ones in spirit. So
wow, that's great. That's very cool. Yeah, no, it is important to, this stuff is just, meant to be contemplative and to sit with it and to, process it like Christine said. It's very, a lot of the stuff has very deep meaning. That you might not get you the first look over.
Right.
You're going to have to spend some time with it. The same thing with when I do tarot cards, same with tarot readings. People can contemplate the reading and the interpretation for days and weeks and months and come up with more stuff like literally a year later. I've had that.
Right.
Like, oh my God, you want a tarot reading? Well, I just thought of this. It's like, okay, that's good. It means it's fruitful and it's meaningful. It means it's it's effective. So
exactly.
So Marlene is saying yes, save the papers. So during a session, you write this stuff. Do you do automatic writing during a session?
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Do people when they sign up for a session, do they ask for one or more things or specific things, or you just kind of run with it?
What, for a session?
Like if somebody signs up for a session with you, do they say like, okay, I want a session for automatic writing, or I want a session for chronic healing, or I want a session for using the pendulum? Is it one specific thing, or what do your sessions go?
So the pranic healing is separate. The other stuff, basically, I say they're psychic medium sessions. You come in, I don't want to know anything. I don't even ask people their last names. I don't want to know anything. When people come in, their session's going to be individual to them and their spirit and their needs. So there's times where it's just automatic writing. There's times where I have to use the pendulum. There's times where I throw down a few tarots, but everyone is different. And the thing I tell people is like, you can come in and say, well, I want tarot. I don't just do tarot readings. I won't have somebody come in and just do tarot, because really it's mostly automatic writing, right? And occasionally we'll need extra guidance with the pendulum or with the tarot, but truly it's just automatic writing.
All right. Okay, that's your forte. And you don't remember when that started?
No, I don't. I remember, it's so funny. I do remember this only because my friend sent her the cover of her papers to me, and I did a session for her probably 15, 16 years ago. And the way I did it, it was so weird, right? But over time, as we develop our gifts, we find what's comfortable for us. And she sent me, and it was a 5-point star, okay? And then each point had a topic for conversation. And then, it would be 1, 2, 3. So then in the session, I would go each topic of conversation that we had on the star. And that's how I would do it. So I think gradually from that, I shifted into kind of an automatic writing. And I was doing a lot of long distance email readings at the time, which I don't do anymore. But I would do automatic typing. So I just found like separating myself from my physical self and just letting it flow, whether it be on a keyboard or on pen and paper, I found was just so comfortable to me. So I felt like I eased myself into it. over time.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I've known just a couple other people, and one of them not even personally, I just know of him. That's done automatic writing and really got into it.
Yeah,
And
I
some
love
really
it.
cool stuff. I've never experienced anything like that personally.
I gotta tell you, there are times when I will be, because I go back, people know I'll sit with my legal pen and paper and I start the writing and I just kind of go with it. But during the session, I will go back and look through it a bunch of times, because during the automatic writing, sometimes I'm conscious of what we're writing. Sometimes I'll stop to write things that are very important to make sure they're legible. But I go back and look frequently because there'll be things written that I didn't even realize we wrote, and that's fascinating too. So I'll be like, oh, these letter S things? I didn't realize I wrote that. And they're like, yeah, actually, that's who we're talking about, and shit like that. So it's quite interesting, actually.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Absolutely.
It's creepy.
That's really cool, because it all ties into like, kind of your mediumship, and just like process or interpreting things from the other side for people on the side, if you will. Right?
Yeah. Right. Which is fascinating, because I think that I like that you bring that up, because I think people don't understand. Sometimes the connection can be very easy breezy, right? It can be, but there's times, and every spirit's different, every connection's different. And there are times when making sense of those messages is a little more difficult for me. But, doing it for so long, I'm usually aware of why spirit behaves a certain way, or says a certain thing, or is hesitant, or is, whatever. I usually can put together why that is the way it is. You know what I mean? Did that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely does. Yeah, that's very cool. And it's obviously very helpful for a lot of people.
Yes.
Let's see here. I got some more comments here. Christine says, I've had a mixture of all that. There was one before that. Hold on. Shelly Crace asks, Crace, I hope it's how you pronounce it, Shelly. How is it decided on what to use? I'm guessing she means like, it's automatic writing, tarot cards, pendulum during a session. How do you figure out like, oh, it's time to use a pendulum?
Just like I receive all my other messages, I'm told to, but 99% of the time, like I said, it's always automatic writing. Everyone leaves with papers. It's always the automatic writing. There's just times in which spirit will be like, grab the pendulum and ask this question, but for the most part, everyone has their automatic writing. That's really what it comes down to. I just sometimes spirit will tell me to use something else, and I will.
Yeah. All right. Christine is saying, I've had a mixture of all that Kristen offers in my sessions. I truly have suffered for so long, but now I am finding peace and finding my own gifts. I recommend multiple sessions.
Yay! Thank you, darling.
Yeah, that's awesome. Crystal is saying, yes, 2 exclamation points. Every session I've had, there has been very important things that she didn't even know she wrote, and it usually brings out something valuable to me. That's very cool.
I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. You definitely have a lot of people who love you, or what you do for them. That's awesome.
Honestly, that says so much to me. Honestly, because I struggled a lot in my life with acceptance and things like that, believe it or not. So it's really great for me as a person, and just as a good person, to feel that from other people. I give love to receive it, and it feels so good to me. I love it so much.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting too, like, struggling with, being accepted. And I guess, depending on what stage of your life, probably most people go through that, middle school, high school, that kind of stuff. It's a little bit easier as the older you get, but not for some people. But then involving yourself in these sorts of things, which are just so fringe to the left or the right, so far from the middle of like mainstream living, you made it an even greater struggle for you to get to be, accepted as a human being, kind of thing, because people. I know that I have difficulty. I don't date. I told you I just stopped doing it. It's just annoying.
Good for you.
Yeah. I'm happier. I'm sorry. I really am. It's amazing, the freedom. Right. But before I stopped, being involved in all this kind of stuff, and I would call myself an occultist. I guess that's probably the best word to describe me, and I can define that later. It's not very many people are into this stuff, especially to the degree and depth that I am, and so it freaks some people out. So when you're trying to date, then it's like, when they finally figure it out, and you take them to your apartment or whatever, and they see some weird statue on your shelf, like, what's that? You're like,
Right? My place is littered with crystals and metaphysical art and creepy shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the thing, though, and it's interesting you bring this up, because I lead with, I'm a very honest person. I say that in my sessions, I'll never make anything up. I won't say anything I'm not confident about. And I'm the same way in life. I'm very honest. So when somebody asks me, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm a professional medium. And how do you think that goes for me? Sometimes it's okay, but people don't take me seriously. And which is really sad because I'm a very smart woman. I'm aloof. Don't get me wrong. It's part of my gift. It's part of my charm. But I think people underestimate me. And I wish if people knew a little bit more about me without assuming, that would be great. And I always say this too, right? You have to experience it to understand the magnitude of it, right? The magnitude of what this is. And I think a lot of people don't take it seriously because they don't know enough about it, you know?
Well, I think that's probably, the case with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Well, when did you discover the mediumship part? I mean, the fact that you could actually connect with spirits.
Let me think about this for a second.
Or even like vaguely, like, were you in your single digits? Were you a teenager? Were you in your 20s? And
you know what? I will say this. When we come here with a purpose in life, right, we're usually drawn to that purpose. So for me, I was always very empathetic and caring. I was always very interested in the paranormal and crazy weird things. I liked spooky things. I liked graveyards. I liked all that as a young child. And then just as I got older, I was like, okay, let me read a little bit about, some metaphysical stuff and planets and just like everything I ever wanted to know about. So it kind of progressed over my lifetime. But really, I think more so I had experiences. I've seen, spirit and stuff like that. But I think more so just as I got older, it just, for me became more evident to me.
I mean, did you ever do? Oh, well, let's talk about this as a nice segue. You were in a documentary, a paranormal investigating documentary,
Yes.
and you have other experience in paranormal investigation too, as well, right?
Oh yes, I love it.
Real quick. Victoria says Kristen truly has an amazing gift, beautiful soul. I was able to have peace instantly during my first session, just knowing my daughter was communicating with me. Oh, your daughter. Oh, wow. That's so beautiful that you can do this for them. I mean,
it is. I got goosebumps.
So do I. And just, daughter and mother, and that's an important connection. And that's awesome that you can reconnect. I'm going to get emotional.
I take it so seriously. I tell you, I see a lot of moms who are grieving, and I take it so seriously. I really do. It's an honor for me to be able to do that. It's also very difficult, and to do that. Sending you so much love, Victoria, honey.
Yeah. What were we saying?
You're asking me?
I got a little misty over this. I mean, it's just
never. Oh, I think actually, nope. Dating is more.
Is that what you wrote down? That was like 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
Okay, mediumship, talking to the other side. Paranormal investigation, hauntings.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay, go on. Tell us about the documentary you were in and the other stuff you've done. Because I told you, by the way, folks, I'm interested in starting my own little amateur level paranormal investigating. I got a bunch of stuff marked on my Amazon thing. I'm just probably waiting for the weather to warm up a bit because I don't feel like going into like a cold basement. I'd rather be warm. So probably a couple of months I'll start doing it. And Christian, if she is able and willing, she will definitely be helping me out. That'd be great.
For sure.
For sure.
So the paranormal stuff is actually, for me, everything just is like, okay, Kristen the medium and then things from it, right? So the paranormal investigating thing, like I just said, I was always interested in spirits and ghosts. Like even when I was in second grade, I remember the book fair would come and there would be like true haunted stories. I'm like, yes. And I would read it front to back a bunch of times. And I just kind of always really enjoyed it. So then, I was always kind of doing paranormal stuff, going to see the energy in homes and stuff. But then when I was asked a couple of years ago to be in the film for Haunted Saginaw, I was like, yeah, absolutely. And I got to tell you, it's different when you go into a home and it's somebody you've talked to. It's a home where people live and it's a nice, cozy little family home and, whatever for me versus like an old, creepy farmhouse with like a funeral room and like a creepy ass basement built a long time ago. And like, it's a completely different atmosphere, right? But I saw one of the only ones I can remember when I was there, because we had wrapped up going from room to room and recording and getting the energy and shit like that. And I saw my first shapeshifter there. That was fun. That was at about.
What do you mean?
What's that?
I know what a shapeshifter is in some traditions. What do you mean by it?
Shapeshifter, a spirit that can transform shapes and become something else. Yeah.
Okay.
So we saw that. But anyway, so that was fascinating to me. It was really creepy because there was like a stairway that went into the basement. It had a hole in the wall. So you could sit on the stairs, but look into the basement, and the hole had to be about head level, face level. And when I was brave enough during the investigation to stick my face by the eye hole, and somebody moved right past it, which was interesting. But the next day, well, not the next day because we did an overnight investigation, but so in the morning we wrapped up, final interviews, whatever, which I wish they would have told me they were going to use that because I looked horrible. But anyways, down the stairs right in front of my eyes was a full-bodied apparition of a woman in old-timey clothing. And I was like, what? And then I turned around and I said to the producer, I'm like, did you? And they're like, oh yeah, we see that all the time. And I was like, no shit. It was very interesting. But anyway, so I do a lot of it still, the paranormal investigating. I love that too. People want comfort and peace in their homes, so I provide them with that.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Have you done anything in this area? Because we got some things here.
Yes.
Crystal is saying plenty of paranormal to investigate where I live. One of the most haunted cities in America. Where is that? Do you know where Crystal lives?
Savannah.
Where's
I'm planning my trip down there.
Where's Savannah? Georgia? That's
Savannah?
Oh, Savannah.
With an S.
Yeah, I think you said Savannah. Okay, Savannah, Georgia. Oh yeah, Georgia's totally. Yeah. Oh yeah, crazy.
I know. I'd love to go to Gettysburg. That's one of the places on my list.
Oh, that's got to be a hotspot. Jill Shaw is saying, "Oh, you would love Edinburgh." Oh yeah, dude, I want to go to Edinburgh.
Where's that?
I think it's in Ireland.
Ireland. I've always wanted to go to Ireland, actually.
I mean, I'm guessing there's more than one, so I don't know what she means, but the most famous is
it's like in Indiana.
Ireland or Scotland. It's not in India. No, it's definitely that. It's definitely European. Marlene is saying, freaked me out watching it. You were awesome. I'm guessing about the documentary.
Oh, I was also so much chubbier.
Scotland. Sorry, it was Scotland, not Ireland. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, it is Scotland. I thought it was going to be like Indiana or something, and I was going to laugh. So.
Right. So yeah, no, and I watched a good part of the documentary. I didn't finish it, but I would definitely watch through your part. Yeah, no, it was a cool documentary. I mean, definitely just can kind of feel the ambiance in the rooms that you guys were in. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a credit to just the energy from the house, or if it was the talents of the film. You know, the producers and all of that.
I did sign.
You people.
I signed an NDA, so I cannot disclose that information.
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I should do one of those and sign an NDA because I don't have anything that they could take from me, so I could just talk all I want.
Right? That's true.
What are you going to do? What are you going to take?
You can't get blood from a turnip.
The $62. The $62 I have in my checking account. Go ahead, take it. I don't give a shit.
No, but it's funny because I will say this. The first time I went, because I went twice, I was only in one film. And the first time I went was more of following me around with cameras and just me being the medium going where I felt the energy. Yeah. And that's important on an investigation. If you have an investigation and you put me into a room and tell me this is where we're doing it, we're not going to have the same result as if I were to go, follow me, this is where I feel the energy, and go there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
100%. Let's see here.
I'll never lie.
Good. No, please. Lying is it's stupid. It's ridiculous.
It is.
Why would you lie?
I don't need to be on TV for like dramatic purposes. That's why.
And fear probably is a lot of it too. Christine is saying we have a location to investigate. Do you know what that means?
Maybe. Pray tell.
Do tell, Christine, please. I can buy the equipment at any time. I'm just literally waiting for warm weather. So if you got a good opportunity, I will strike when that iron is hot.
I must say, what will be interesting for you that not many people get to witness, aside from people in sessions, is I am fully able to take on spirit. Not like in a creepy way, like the chick from she was like, I don't know, English or British. What is that? Surviving Death. And she was like taking on the voice of the little boy. And she's like, hey,
a possession? A possession? Huh? A possession?
Kind of, but it's not that. So like when I channel, and I can speak for spirit and things like that. That's what I'm talking about. In a sense, I let spirit use my body, but not in a creepy way like some of these other people do. I'll just talk normal and shit like that. But I may be taken over with energy and things like that. It can get weird. It can. Just so you know.
Oh, I'm not, dude. No, that's fine.
My head spins. I vomit.
You do not do that.
You never know.
That would be a possession. that would be a satanic possession.
It would be interesting.
Oh, they're good. Cool, man. I've dealt with demons in my day. Let's see. I have the where they Christine's saying the location is where they filmed Amityville in Wisconsin.
Is that for sure?
I didn't know they filmed Amityville in Wisconsin. Amityville is out east. I think in Massachusetts or Rhode Island or something.
Right.
Okay, maybe that doesn't mean that they filmed it there. So that would be cool. She has the contact info. See, Jill Shaw says, would love if us get anything for me. I don't know. Try to interpret that. Crystal's saying it would be awesome to record some of her work when she comes to visit me.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you go down and you visit Crystal.
I'm going to. We were supposed to do this in December, I think, or something like that. So I have airline credits and I'm waiting to go.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be fun. I'm excited about that.
Have you been to Savannah?
I have not. I have not been to Savannah, surprisingly. I didn't do a lot of traveling until my divorce.
Yeah, Georgia is beautiful.
Yeah, I've been to Georgia.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but not Savannah.
Very green and lush and therefore lots of plant perspiration and very humid. So
probably peaches too.
You go July, August, it's going to be. But
I don't care. I'm so sick of winter. Sure. I will go in the thick of it. I don't care.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's very cool. Okay, so Christine is saying yes, the remake. So the remake of Amityville. I guess they filmed in Wisconsin. Oh, I think Jill is asking if you feel anything from spirits for her.
I honestly, I can't see like anything, so I can't make that connection right now.
Okay.
Usually on a live feed, it's a little bit different. I see a name and things like that, and then I can pick up on the energy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very cool. So, okay. So besides, did you do any paranormal stuff recently, like in this area?
Actually, I was going to say that when you asked that originally, is that Round Lake and the area. I mean, I used to live in Round Lake Beach and my house was very active there. And I've noticed a lot of people in the greater Round Lake area, all the different Round Lakes and things like that, and into Grays Lake a little bit, have a lot of really unique, similar experiences. And actually there's somebody close to me who I went to her house and she was just beyond some train tracks, and turns out there was spirits traveling and just kind of hopping off by her house via the train tracks,
really?
which was weird. Yeah, which was really interesting. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff around here, believe it or not.
Oh no, I do believe it. Like I said, I worked at Tina G's, and that building was built in 1910. And I've been in that creepy basement, and I used to close there on Sunday nights by myself. And I definitely heard stuff. And I have a certain degree of intuition about these things. I can definitely sense some things for sure. I'm not at your level by any stretch, but yeah, no, for sure. So I already got Tina G's permission to film there.
I love it.
That'll be the first place we go.
I love it. I love it. But we have to go to the gate. I love the gate.
Oh, totally. I used to hang out at the gate when I was younger. We used to go to the so we could freak ourselves out, and it worked. Oh man.
Did you ever see anything?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's some shit there for sure.
I love that.
Well, it's not all positive, so.
Oh, I know. What about the Hell House? Did we talked about that, the Rouse House? And
we did. Did you say it was torn down?
Yeah, last I knew it was a vacant plot of land now, but the energy there, it's funny because I remember we did a ghost tour, we got up and I stayed behind by the bus while everybody else went into the plot and stuff. And that's the only place that I did not go into. And I've been to a lot of creepy places, so it's interesting.
Because you were getting the sense of something pretty bad.
Yeah, evil. And it's interesting because now, I mean, that was years ago. Now I don't think I'd be curious to go back and see because of how I felt originally versus now, because we changed so much over time. My job has advanced so much since 4 years ago or whatever the case may be. So I'd love to go back there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For
That'd
sure.
be very cool. I actually asked one of the Village of Mundelein trustees who's on the board and knows like everything about everything in Mundelein to keep an eye and ear out for places that he hears are may have some activity. So that'd be cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Lake
County goes back a long way. There's some stuff here for sure. Christine says I've had 2 very active houses in Round Lake. Round Lake might be a good place to go to. Turns out.
Yeah. What historical places are there in Round Lake?
Christine, if you know. And Shelly is saying yes, Tina G's basement. That's right.
I've never been there, but can we sleep there?
In her basement?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It has a bathroom.
I feel like I want to go.
I shouldn't say absolutely. I'd have to ask her, but I can't.
Right, absolutely, we can.
I can't imagine she would say no to that.
She'd be like, "Why the hell do you want to sleep in the basement?"
No, she's excited. She's really. I told her, I'm like, this is a paranormal investigation. She's super excited about it.
Yeah.
She loves this stuff.
I feel like because I have this ability to summon spirit for pictures and video and things.
Sure.
Spirit photography, I feel like we can get some good things and then we can share them if she's cool with it. And
I think that's her idea.
Something. Everybody likes that shit.
Everybody, yeah, it's super cool. There were some when I lived in Portland. There were a couple of restaurants that were claimed to be haunted, and it was just a thrill to go there knowing that. I didn't see anything when I did or feel it, but
wasn't it like Lindy's or something?
Extra cool about it. What's that?
Wasn't it like Lindy's or something? I don't remember.
In Portland?
No, like in Wakanda, Lindy's on the Lake or something over there.
I've never heard of Lindy's on the Lake. I'm not sure. Shelly, if anybody's heard of Lindy's on the Lake in Wakanda or somewhere around here, let us know. Shelly is saying, have either of you heard of the first murder house in Mundelein? No.
Excuse me?
Pardon? Shelly, explain, please.
First?
Okay, murder house in Mundelein.
Oh, please be the creepy house I'm obsessed with. Please be the creepy house I know the address.
What's the creepy house you're obsessed with?
It's on Taylor Lake Court, and I don't want to say too much because somebody lives there now. But I'm
their address. It's the thing. Start getting tapey and stuff. Christine says I had a house on Elm Street and a house on the corner of Fairfield and Nippersink. Not sure in historic, but I've heard Lake Geneva has some historic haunted places. I will check into it. Lake Geneva, we should totally go up there and do some stuff. I mean, and just have a great weekend because Lake Geneva is awesome.
It is, yeah.
Oh, Shelly Grace is saying Lindy's Landing was the name of the place, I guess, in Wakanda.
So I feel like, is that the place that was supposedly haunted? I don't know. Lindy's Landing.
Yeah, and Samantha, with an awesome middle name, Visconti, how you doing? Says you guys should travel to the most haunted places. I would join if I lived closer. Oh no, I'm going to do tons of research on like the most haunted, fucked up places I can find for sure.
For sure. I would like to get into a couple old asylums if we could. Like the creepier, the better. Right.
The creepier, the better. That's right. Yeah. I'm trying to make she came up with the phrase "creepy is my jam," and I promised her a bumper sticker, so I need to make that happen.
Creepy is my jam. Do you think, David, do you think if you saw, let's say we went somewhere and we're in a dark hallway of an insane asylum, let's say, do you think that somebody walking right past you would freak you out?
No, because I've had it happen. I've had people walk through me.
How does that feel for you?
It was, I mean, my first reaction was like, what the fuck? And then, but like after a couple of seconds, when I realized probably what happened, I think it's amazing. It excites me in a positive way, not in a negative way.
So you don't scream like a girl?
No.
Okay. I just want to know what I'm in for.
I've seen some pretty dark shit. I'm okay.
Floating head, would that scare you?
If I could touch it, maybe. No, I think it would just further fascinate me. Yeah. If I felt something negative, like it was out to get me or something, then I would probably have a healthy fear of it. But that's just, survival, fight or flight. But, right. But I mean, it says, no, if I saw a floating head, I'd be like, yes.
Yeah, right. Score. Here's what I would not be a fan of. I would not be a fan. And I tell my kids, like, my kids would do this to me. And I'm like, you can't do that to me because my one thing is I don't want a spirit to jump out at me. That's what I don't want. You can walk up to me, you can walk through me, but do not jump out at me from nowhere. And my kids will hide behind, like, I'll come down the stairs and they're like, ah! And I'm like, ah.
Yeah, well, that's being startled. Being startled, I mean, it's a type of fearful reaction, but that's again, that's instinct.
Right,
That's not afraid of the dark or afraid of spirits or ghosts. So that's just you're being your entire senses have just been overloaded within a moment.
I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. You know, I mean,
it's terrifying. Five Nights at Freddy's, they play this game where you get jump scared, right? That's what I liken it to.
I gotcha. Right. Okay. So we have Dale on here. Hello, Dale. He's saying that Middleton's in Wakanda is, I'm guessing he's saying, is a haunted place.
Is that my dad?
Dale, what's the last name?
Shashinsky?
Yeah.
Dad!
I didn't know how to pronounce it. So.
Well, then I knew it was my dad. As soon as people go, last name, I know.
There you go. Crystal Fields is saying that, I'm guessing in reference to what you were saying about, like, if I would see a ghost or a floating head, that she would freeze. Victoria is saying, first time I ever spoke with Kristen, I asked her where Papa and Jim's ashes were. I could not find them. Right away, Kristen replied, in a little wooden box, like a jewelry box. Opened my daughter's bedroom door. My eyes immediately focused on the little wooden box. Wow, unreal. This chick rocks. I've been hooked ever since for a little over years.
I love that. It's that crazy shit, though. That blows my mind.
Yeah, no, that's very cool. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. For sure. So I guess there are several places in the area we can look at, which is nice.
What place did my dad say? Can you see that?
I don't want.
It's not Lindy's?
No, he said, Lisa Gooch Heisei says hello. Middleton's in Wakanda.
Middleton's.
Is that a restaurant? I don't know what that is.
Yes. So I was right.
Christine said Maxwell Mansion in Lake Geneva. Yeah, write this stuff down. So
yeah.
So I guess that would be cool. There's no shortage of, like, I mean, there's a Native American it's the biggest archaeological site in the country in southern Illinois. There's got to be some cool shit going on.
Oh, I'm sure. Even Starved Rock and stuff. I mean,
Starved Rock,
think about these places, you know?
Yeah, no,
even if it's residual.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Do you feel as though that so one of the things that's kind of like out there as a thing amongst the community of these we sort of people is that when things internationally get really tense and tight and dangerous, like we currently have a situation going on,
I've heard about this.
Spirits tend to come forth a little bit more. Is that, would you agree with that, or is that something you haven't noticed? Or
do you mean in regard to the current world circumstances?
Yeah, the Ukraine, Russia, like on the brink of World War III crap.
You know, it's interesting because more that stuff, like, I know a lot of people are worried and paranoid about the future with this happening. I didn't even know about it till after it was well underway or whatever, because I don't watch the news or anything. But for me, what I get is more information from my guides, right? To help me help me express to people there's no reason to be concerned. And one of the biggest things that we do here is we fear, right? Fear gets in the way of so many different things. So I was trying to put everybody's mind at ease, because right now I'm not concerned based on what I'm told about a world war, right? I mean, are you concerned about that? You're probably a little more in tune to what's going on than I.
Yeah, because I have a politics show that I host too, so I have to be up on this stuff. But yeah, no, about it, like an actual like nuclear holocaust, no. But World War III, no, not in the sense of we think of like World War II and World War One. It's still a war by a major country, right. And that's disconcerting. You know, and it's really, I hate war. I think it's terrible. You know, hearing the news every day, but they just showed up. We're talking about a photo of a mother and her baby dead on the street there, you know, in Ukraine. I mean, it's just, it's awful. But I mean, as far as like a global impact, it is impact economically. Yes, I'm concerned about that for sure. But this is why gas prices are going through the roof. guys.
Everything's going through the roof.
Yeah,
Toaster
it's
strudels.
all because of the stuff that's happening. So there is
that
an
right?
impact, and a very negative and burdensome impact for sure. As far as like again, Holocaust or like just physical war, no, not really.
Right.
But it's still a time of crisis and strife, and it's global. And I think that's a big deal. That's a lot of negative energy.
It is.
Right.
But
So I wonder, and like I just said, somebody this came to me the other day. I'm like, I remember hearing this. People think that, like, during World War II and World War I, during the Cold War, and that kind of thing, when the Cuban Missile Crisis, that spirits tend to come out more, because they have more a reason to comfort us, console us, guide us, tell us what's up, that kind of thing. I don't know for sure, but I was just asking you.
I will tell you this. I don't find that to be true. Unless people really, and this would be a time where we want to access more our spirit guides, right, to help us, with that and where we're going, things like that. But I don't feel there's like an uptick in spirit communication, at least not for me, because it's always the same.
Right, because spirits are always there in the first place. So
exactly.
Maybe we're just not spending enough time trying to contact them in normal, like more peaceful times, and that's why we don't hear them as much, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Maybe we become a little more attuned to them during times of global crisis because we just, we're just more sensitive to things. That
right.
could really be it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's interesting though that we talk about this. So when this happened, I feel like on my live feed we were talking, because I was doing remote viewing for a while, and I was describing this government remote viewing I was doing, and I kept going to this power plant, and I described it exactly how I saw it. And I did it more than once. And then somebody had told me, and then all of a sudden I wasn't doing this remote viewing anymore. And then because I had said it too, when I was doing it, I'm like, I feel like it's Russia. I don't know, whatever. And then somebody said recently on my live something about a takeover at a power plant. And it was exactly how I described. So did that happen?
They took over a nuclear power plant. And they started, and they lit it on fire, and it began, and it was bad, and they took it over, in Ukraine. That happened last week.
Okay.
Yeah, wow. That's interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah. But that power plant is for energy. It's not for nuclear weapons, so we don't have to. But it's still like most of Ukraine uses it. So if the Russians have it, it's really bad for Ukraine.
Yeah. Huh.
But so let's see here. Nicola is saying you should try England. We have a lot of history. Oh, please. You're kidding me? I'd do that in a second.
Right?
Absolutely. No, I'll start saving. I'll probably see in about 5 years.
Right.
Let's see. It's horrible. I pray for the people of Ukraine. It is horrible. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. And it sucks. What really upsets me about it too, real quick, is that it's just it's a small handful of people making the decisions for billions of other people.
It's horrible.
Like, does any person on the street want war? No. Would Libertyville invade Mundelein if there was no federal government? No. It's just people just want to. There's just a handful of people who are power hungry, and they have the damn weapons. Anyway, I think Christine is saying I think spirit feeds off of your energy, Shirley. Definitely, and Shelley says definitely feeds off fear. Yeah, no, especially the negative ones.
Mm-hmm.
The psychic vampires that are behind the veils. There are people that can be considered psychic vampires, but all those sorts of things too. And I don't know if you deal with that kind of stuff. This is more definitely my realm of things I deal with, like astral projection and astral vampires and forces of nature, gods, goddesses, stuff like that. You know that stuff?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't do the gods and goddesses. I have to limit myself to
that's
where
cool.
I'm getting my source from.
Yeah. No, we all amongst the spectrum of things that count, and I keep calling it this stuff. There's just 1,000 different ways to approach it and things to do. Of course, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I don't have some of the skills you have. I wouldn't call myself a medium. I've had some interesting experiences with the other side, but no, I can't just to do it. They usually tell me.
It does.
Does it?
It does. And the more I advance myself, the more I get confused about reality and non-reality.
Yeah, that's a danger too. Even in the occult, that's a big part of like practicing magic and stuff like that. Is you're the veil between your understanding of what's real and what's not. It gets a little bit thin because you open your mind to so many possibilities. which is good, and you want to do that. But then sometimes you can be perceiving something that may not actually be there. So you got to be a little careful. You know what I'm saying?
Are you really here?
Yeah. No, I'm really here.
Okay, checking. You never know.
Yes, you never do. That's for sure.
I've driven down the street and seen somebody and
absolutely.
been like, "Do you guys see that person too, or is it just me?" Like a really old person, like randomly in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, but it ends up being a real person. So anyway.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen trucks disappear right in back of me driving and stuff. There 1 second, gone the next.
Interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, we can hang out one day and maybe we'll have a show where we just talk about like the kind of the creepy stuff we've witnessed. Actually, I do want to have a show like this where I have like maybe a panel of guests that just talk about their paranormal experiences, not necessarily like during as a profession, but just like some really interesting paranormal things that have occurred to me that are interesting to talk about. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now,
for sure.
I got a shit ton. So Christina's saying, for the last 10 years, I thought I was just dreaming of my dad and would be devastated when I woke up. Okay, yeah, I can see that. It's pretty sad. Christin made connection with my dad, and we learned that it has been him communicating with me all this time. He told Christin our connection is spiritual, not physical, and it's been amazing ever since. That's amazing. That's beautiful. Look at you.
Yes. And what's great about it too is that spirit will tell me before people say anything. And here's the thing. I don't ask people to talk about things. People will share things, but otherwise I'll ask like, "Hey, do you dream about your dad?" Because then this is what he was saying about it, just so you know, like this is him visiting or whatever. It's not just something where she's like, "Well, I dream about my dad." And I'm like, "That's a visit," or anything like that. I mean,
for sure.
The situations can always be different, but it's always what we want to hear too, because spirit wants to validate that shit for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to talk about your spirit box sessions. I love that, and that
do you?
I do.
Me
why do you ask so shockingly? Oh, okay.
Because they're loud.
They are a bit loud for sure, and sometimes they're a little too loud. But I see the people commenting, they're like, "Can you turn down a bit?" And you usually get there to a sufficient level, a decent level. But it's just fascinating stuff. Putting that together. Talk about like how'd you get into that? What do you think about it? I mean,
I love when you ask me things that I have to dig into my past for because I have no memories. So let me think. I don't remember. And also I exchange my memories for my gift. I'm not just completely oblivious to the world. Well, I am. But anyways, so I got into it probably because I probably saw it on some show a really long time ago. I was like, I have to have one of those. Because I remember I started dabbling in it. And when I really started using it was my first ghost tour. And that had to be in 2016 or 17, and passed it around to everybody in the group. And it was giving specific things, which is cool. So it's just a radio device that scans very quickly the frequencies in the different stations. And then what we listen for is words standing out above anything else, and they'll carry over several channels, right? So it's fascinating to me how spirit uses that to come through. And I use it in sessions sometimes too if somebody asks me to, right? But spirit will sound exactly the same as they did in life. Yeah, and that's what's really cool. Because I'm like, you guys have to listen. It's going to sound just like them. And it always does. It's really cool. I love it. And we bring it up in live feeds too. It's just fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sit there and I listen to it, but you say this during your feeds. It is better as the listener to listen with like your earphones or earbuds or something like that, and you can just hear it more clearly. But no, it's cool. It's really cool. Yeah, and I've seen that stuff before. So I'm really glad that you do it as well, because it's just kind of cool to know somebody who does.
Yeah, I don't think everybody should be dabbling in that. I think some people.
No, you're getting closer to some other stuff. Exactly. Shelly says that her grandson was taken to the hospital by ambulance last night. Her daughter was with him. All of a sudden, the lights went out. Then, while at hospital, the lights went out in the bedroom, in the hospital room. Can this be explained?
That could definitely be spirit draining that energy, the lights, to come through and be present for the child, for sure.
Yeah.
How old is this grandson? I'm curious.
I don't, yeah, how old is your grandson? What happened if you're
Is he a child or is he older?
well, Shelly's not. Shelly's my age.
Oh,
She,
okay.
yeah, so he can't be. Well, I guess
He's not a child, but
20. I guess he could be in his 30s.
yeah. That's interesting. I would definitely say that's somebody using that energy to manifest and be there.
And the lights went on in the ambulance.
That's really
Oh, he's
fascinating.
4 years old.
He's 4? I
Wow.
was going to say that.
Were you really?
I swear to God I was.
I believe you.
I know, I don't make shit up, but that's interesting to me. Well, he's fine.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if like the lights going out in all the spots where he was at, if it was, and it happened right as or right after he got hurt or sick or whatever it was,
The energy.
if it was some sort of negative energy.
You think so?
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
totally speculating. Just, I mean, he got hurt.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I don't know. I have no clue.
yeah.
So Deke is saying that she's been talking to Christine. Okay. And now she's talking to Lisa. Okay, cool.
Happens on my life feeds and I answer and then I feel like a moron. I'm like, oh, just kidding.
That's very cool. We only got a couple minutes left. I mean, is there anything you want to plug or anything? I know, isn't that crazy? It flew by.
That's my life. That's why my days go by so quickly.
Yeah, no, I get you. Is this why you what?
That's why my days go by so quickly. I have sessions and the sessions go like this because we're on spirit time. So my days, if I work 4 or 5 hours, are like this. It's great. So, but I'm exhausted afterwards. But no, I just, my thing is if you want to feel better about yourself, if you want to work through some hard shit, if you want to do Tarot Tuesdays or the Spirit Box or whatever, just tune into my Facebook page. You can find me. I'm Paranormal Psychic Medium Christin Marie. Follow, it's fun, and that's pretty much it. If somebody wants a session, they can find my information on that page, but I always wait for people to come to me. I never ask for people to come to me. So
yeah, no, which is very cool. Real quick, everybody, this Sodiq Tunde, please don't go to her. This is some sort of weird thing that's this is a troll or something. You know how Kristen has people posting stuff online as if it's her and it's not?
yeah, they tend to like my videos and then follow my page. And I blocked a couple yesterday, actually, that I saw had liked my videos that had very off-the-wall names. So I clicked on their, you can see what is it, the URL of their whatever. I don't know. I'm not tech savvy, but it had like some weird name in it. And I was like, block. It's always going to happen. I never solicit people. So these people might.
I'm glad I know that because I got somebody that I thought was you trying to get me to subscribe to some sort of membership, something, and I thought it was you. It's like right after I first met you. So I'm like,
yeah.
I messaged back. I'm like, well, give me a second. Let me check some stuff out, whatever. And then I heard you say that you don't do that. I'm like, oh, okay, this is fake.
Never. I will never reach out to somebody first. I don't do subscriptions. I will never, ever, ever reach out to anybody first. I feel everyone who's meant to come to me will.
100%. That's part of the magnetism of the energy, and it's absolutely a part of this whole thing. Marlene is saying you all have a good energy together. Thank you. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
I truly think that the universe brought us together to do cool stuff. I absolutely 100% totally see that. Shelly Crazy, okay, she's going up about her grandson. He went unresponsive for over 30 minutes and not sure why. That's the reason we called 911. Okay, yeah. That's wild.
That's interesting.
Okay, so Christine is saying, I would love to meet you. I'm glad you did this live with Kristen. Oh, thank you very much. I'd love to meet you too. And speaking of meeting me, if you'd like, I am offering tarot classes. I'm going to be teaching tarot starting next Tuesday. If you're interested, I've been doing tarot for over 30 years. I know a lot about tarot cards. I can teach a lot of very, very cool stuff. So if you're interested, just message me, David Rich, RYCH, and we'll go from there. Again,
that's how you say it?
What, tarot?
No, your last name.
What'd you think? Yeah, Rich?
I thought it was Reich this whole time.
Why does everybody say Reich? I'm not a Nazi.
Because that's what it looks like.
Okay. That's fine. No, you're not the first one.
Every day.
It's Rich, which I'm not.
Good to know.
I'm rich in spirit.
Right.
That's why I spell with a Y. It's a fake Rich. Anyway, Lisa is my best friend took his own life in 2021. I'm so sorry. Is he still with me? That's the question for you, not me.
For 2021, she says.
Yeah.
Ooh, we can still be with somebody, but we are working on ourselves right? So our souls need to work a little bit on learning why we did the things that we did, right? So sometimes visiting can't always right now.
Well, that's interesting. That's actually, when you first, like my understanding of kind of the metaphysics of death, like what happens, where the soul goes, how it is, how you understand where you're at the time instead of a physical body, what's happened, that kind of your thought process.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense to me. That like when it first happens, like you're kind of processing all that, and then you're kind of learning your lessons and seeing where you kind of like I personally believe that there are an infinite amount of worlds, and that you actually choose to go to the world you're at.
Right.
It's
a whole other discussion.
Yeah, no, for sure. We can talk. That's philosophy. We can talk about that.
But yes, it's true.
Yeah, for sure. And then in order to learn the lessons that we're learning, I think that we actually chose to be here. And I think that makes sense when you advocate for free will.
Yep.
That would make sense because then you get to choose where you're going instead of being forced.
Right, exactly. But we do have to get reacclimated to the other side. And some of us who have crossed over due to like addictions and things like that, suicide, do need a hair more time sometimes to get reacclimated to the other side.
Absolutely, 100%. I think that explains some of the hauntings that we have. Is that people, the spirits or whatever, don't even know they're dead. They don't know that they haven't even got to the point of having the slightest idea that they've passed.
Yeah,
so they're sticking around. That's where their energy is. It's really, and just some of them, not all of them. Some of them are.
Yes, exactly. Definitely not all of them.
No, probably no, God, no. No. Some of her. Oh man. Okay, cool. So yeah. So website, Facebook, but you don't have a website. Facebook page for you, right?
There's Paranormal Psychic Medium Christin Marie.
Right.
And you'll see this mug.
And which is very cool that you do the live streams.
Yeah.
Like you do them a lot, actually, which is pretty cool.
I do, and I do them randomly because I never know when I'm available, but they tend to be around noon, maybe before.
Yeah, today was at 10:30. Like I just got to work, and I'm sitting down to like look at my phone. I was a psychic medium or Christin Marie live.
And you were like
what?
How is this possible? No, I was up early. Early, relatively early. So.
Right, early for us or for you.
Yes, exactly.
It's probably late for the rest of America, but okay.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
All right. By 10, I'm happy.
No, yeah, absolutely. Oh, 100%. Yeah, 10 o'clock is a good time, I think. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
Michaela Jones, how do I get guys believe in myself and my gifts instead of feeling so different and lost and struggling with negative thoughts that people think?
Here. Don't give a shit what other people think. Yeah, that's what I will say.
That's the number one rule. Like fucking.
I used to be afraid to come out to people, even my family and stuff, like and say like I'm a medium, and it's a lot of pressure. But the biggest key to success is believing in yourself, believing in your abilities, and not giving a hoot who says what about it. Who cares?
I 100% agree. That's like probably on my second or third rule of living.
Yes, we should all do that. Who cares what other people think? You do you as long as you're a good person. That's all that matters.
Exactly. Thank you very much for saying that. And Shelly is saying Christin is definitely an amazing person who knows her stuff.
Thank you. Guys make me blush.
Oh. So, okay, well, cool. Well, yeah, check her out on her Facebook page and live streaming. If you go to her Facebook page and you haven't, I think for something like that, you join it, you don't friend request, right?
No, you just follow or like. I don't know what buttons on there. I'm not tech savvy.
Yeah, some of it. But then you get the notifications for her live streams, which are always great. They're informal, but she'll draw a tarot card. She'll do a spirit box. We'll talk about a plethora of different things, anywhere from like the spirit world to the most recent movie she watched. Which is, but the point being is that it's very interactive and it's very cool. People are all the time. It's like a conversation with like 20 people all at once with you kind of directing it. It's very cool.
It's fun.
Check it out.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you very much. Your tattoos look great on this show for some reason. I don't know, but they're just really popping right now.
Well, thank you.
So very cool. Yeah, and again, folks, if you want to learn tarot from somebody who knows tarot, next Tuesday, probably 7 o'clock ish till 8-ish or something like that. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. But message me, David Rich, RYCH, Rich, not Reich. No Nazi chair. Thank you all for tuning in. And good luck to you with everything you do. And may peace come to all of us because things are not going great. So yeah, put that positive energy out there for sure. Okay?
Yep. All right.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.